So, you want to own an accounting firm. You buy an existing practice, inherit hundreds of clients, keep the revenue coming in, and collect a nice check every tax season. Sounds almost perfect, right? Accounting is one of those businesses that looks boring from the outside, but incredibly attractive on paper. Businesses need accountants. Taxes aren't optional. Clients tend to stay for years, and small accounting firms can report profit margins that would make a restaurant owner jealous. But here's the part most people completely misunderstand. A profitable accounting firm does not automatically mean a wealthy accounting firm. Two firms can generate the exact same revenue, serve the same number of clients, and still have dramatically different profits, completely different workloads, and wildly different values when the owners decide to sell. So, where does all the money actually go? The answer starts with understanding what an accounting firm is really selling. It isn't selling tax returns, it isn't selling bookkeeping, and it definitely isn't selling hours. What the client is really buying is judgment. Think about it. An experienced accountant might finish a complicated business tax return in less than an hour. The client could easily pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for that work. But they're not paying for 60 minutes of typing. They're paying for decades of experience that allow the accountant to know what matters, what doesn't, what could trigger a problem, and what opportunities another accountant might completely miss. The hour is simply when the expertise gets used. The real product is trust and judgment, and that's where the first major limitation appears. Every accountant has a ceiling. There are only so many productive hours one person can work in a year. Once you remove holidays, training, meetings, sick days, administrative work, and everything else that doesn't generate revenue, you're left with a surprisingly limited amount of productive capacity. That means an accounting firm has a problem that software companies don't have. A software company can sell the same product to 10,000 customers without hiring 10,000 developers. An accountant can't serve 10,000 clients at the same time. The business is ultimately tied to human capacity, and that creates the first trap. When revenue starts growing, the obvious answer is to hire more people. But hiring isn't as cheap as the salary number suggests. Someone earning $60,000 might actually cost the firm significantly more once you include payroll taxes, benefits, software, recruiting, training, equipment, and management time. And a new employee doesn't immediately produce their full value. For months, sometimes longer, they're learning the firm's systems, learning the clients, making mistakes, and requiring review from more experienced staff. So, while you're adding one employee, you're also taking time away from someone who was already productive. Then comes the second problem: turnover. Public accounting has a reputation for long hours and brutal busy seasons. People leave. New people have to be recruited. New people have to be trained. Senior employees have to spend time teaching them. And then, just when the new employee becomes productive, they might leave for another firm offering a better salary or a better lifestyle. That's the talent treadmill. The firm keeps growing, revenue keeps increasing, headcount keeps increasing, but somehow, the owner isn't getting richer. In fact, the owner can end up working harder while keeping less. So, if hiring isn't the magic solution, what actually separates the great firms from the mediocre ones? One word: pricing. Most traditional accounting firms still think about pricing in terms of hours, and that sounds logical. You work for 3 hours. You bill 3 hours. You work for 1 hour. You bill 1 hour. Simple. But there's a huge problem with that model. It punishes efficiency. If one accountant can complete a task in 3 hours and another can do the same job in 1 hour because they're more experienced and have better systems, the faster accountant has just created less billable revenue. The better they become, the fewer hours they need. That's backwards. A smarter firm moves toward fixed fees, monthly subscriptions, and value-based pricing. Now, the incentive changes. If the client pays a fixed amount every month, the firm benefits from becoming faster and more efficient. The client isn't buying time, they're buying an outcome. Imagine a business owner paying $2,000 a month for accounting and financial guidance. If that service helps them make better decisions, avoid expensive mistakes, improve cash flow, or save significant money, they're not sitting there calculating how many hours their accountant worked, they're thinking about the result. And that's the difference between compliance and advisory. Compliance is easier to commoditize. Advisory creates value. But pricing is only half the equation. The other half is knowing which clients are actually worth keeping. And this is where a shocking amount of accounting firm profit disappears. Imagine a client paying you $500 a year. At first, that looks like easy money. But this client emails constantly. They call with questions. They send documents late. They argue over invoices. They need reminders. They ask for favors that weren't included in the original agreement. Suddenly, that $500 client has consumed dozens of hours. You thought you had a customer. You actually bought yourself a job. Now compare that with a client paying $50,000 a year who communicates clearly, respects the process, and requires a fraction of the time. Those two clients are not equally valuable. But many firms treat them as if they are. The smartest firms track profitability at the client level. They measure the revenue. They measure the hours. They measure the complexity. They measure how much support the client actually requires. Then, they make a decision. Raise the price, change the service model, move the work to a lower-cost team, or, if nothing fixes the economics, fire the client. That last option sounds crazy. Why would you fire someone who pays you money? Because revenue isn't profit. A bad client can consume the profit generated by several good ones. And sometimes the most profitable decision an accounting firm can make is simply saying no. There is another piece that separates a good accounting practice from a valuable business. Recurring revenue. A firm that depends heavily on seasonal tax work has a natural problem. Cash arrives in waves. Work explodes during tax season. Employees work ridiculous hours. And then the business slows down. But recurring services change the economics completely. Monthly bookkeeping, payroll, financial reporting, tax planning, CFO services, advisory retainers. These services create revenue that repeats month after month. And recurring revenue is valuable for a reason that goes far beyond convenience. You don't have to win the customer again every month. You've already earned their trust. The next service is easier to sell because the relationship already exists. That's why one loyal business client can become enormously valuable over a 10 or 20-year relationship. And this leads to one of the most important questions in the entire industry. What is the firm actually worth? Imagine two accounting firms each generating $3 million in annual revenue. At first glance, they look identical, but now, look underneath. Firm number one depends almost entirely on the owner. The owner handles the biggest clients. The owner approves everything. The owner knows all the relationships. The owner is the person clients call when something goes wrong. If that owner disappears, the revenue might disappear with them. That's not a great business. That's a highly paid job. Now look at firm number two. It has documented systems, multiple senior professionals, recurring contracts, diversified clients, clear workflows, and customers who trust the firm, not just one individual. That business can operate without the founder sitting in the middle of every decision. And buyers will pay a very different price for that kind of company. Because buyers aren't just purchasing revenue, they're purchasing predictable future cash flow. That's the hidden difference between owning a practice and owning an asset. A business that depends on you is fragile. A business that works without you is valuable. And there is one more risk that accounting firm owners cannot afford to ignore: trust. An accounting firm can survive losing a client. It can survive a bad quarter. It can survive a difficult tax season. But if the firm's reputation for integrity collapses, the entire business can disappear. History has already shown us how severe that risk can be. Arthur Andersen was once one of the world's largest accounting organizations. It had a massive workforce, decades of reputation, and some of the biggest corporate clients in the world. Then, the Enron scandal happened. It uses fixed or value-based pricing. It tracks profitability by client. It removes customers who consistently destroy margins. It has systems that don't live inside one person's head. It doesn't depend entirely on the founder. And most importantly, it converts expert human time into a business that can operate without consuming all of that owner's time. That's the difference between building a practice and building an asset. And if you're thinking about buying or starting an accounting firm, this is the part you should remember. Don't ask only, how much revenue does this firm make? Ask how that revenue is generated, how many clients produce it, how much of it repeats every month, how many hours does it require, how dependent is it on the owner, which clients are actually profitable, how expensive is the staff, and what happens to the business if the founder stops answering the phone tomorrow. Because two firms can have the same revenue and completely different economics. One can give its owner a comfortable income while trapping them inside the business forever. The other can generate similar revenue while creating a valuable, transferable asset that someone else is willing to pay millions to acquire. That is the real game. Accounting isn't really about preparing tax returns. It's about managing scarce expert time, pricing that expertise correctly, choosing the right clients, building recurring revenue, and creating enough independence that the business becomes more valuable than the person who started it. Get those things right, and you're not just buying yourself a job, you're building an asset. And if you want more breakdowns like this on the hidden economics of boring businesses, business acquisitions, cash flow, and what actually makes a company valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Because the next business you think is boring might actually be one of the most interesting businesses in the world.